Hello, hello. Oh, I'm too close. Hold on. Hello, happy Sunday. Who's here? So we have Tracy. Hello, Remy. Yes, you're second. Tracy this time is first. Okay, so I did remove the heart. You better squash that like button. Yes. We are 5, so I should see 5 thumbs up. Wink, wink. I'm a bit slow tonight. I think I caught someone's cold, or it's like my allergy is coming. I'm so stuffed up, like here. It just, no other problems, just super stuffed here. So I might be weird tonight. Yes. Those are my icons. Penguin. I don't remember the penguin. Hello, Marcus. Hello, Caroline. Oh, I have 3 stars. I have to highlight. Ooh, new member. Welcome. So Tracy, it's been 11 months. And me, 12 months. So I forgot. So we are March 10th. This week marks my 1-year anniversary being monetized on YouTube. So I think, Remy, you were my first member. It makes sense because you're at 12 months. Hello, Hedgehog Homestead. That's a mouthful. Hello, Marilyn. Might be weird tonight. No worries. You should see Tracy and I when we chat. Really? That bad? Ew, another star. A member for 11 months. Cool. That's so cool. Can't believe it's been a year. It's been a year. How is everyone? So for us, it was spring break. So Friday, March 1st, I had my daughter with me up till, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. So that's what I mean. I'm going to be weird tonight. Like, I completely, all the time I want to sneeze and I'm like so stuffed up. I hope I'm not going to lose my voice because I have a very important video to do this week. Well, one is filmed and semi-edit, and it should be ready to be published on Tuesday. But I have one really, really important one coming for Thursday. So if you've missed it, I have March Molasses Madness, a collaboration project that I'm doing with Lynn from Bucket List Homestead, and our second video is out. So Lynn's video is out today, and she has a dough recipe, and mine has to be done for Thursday. So I really hope I do not lose my voice because I have to film it either Monday or Tuesday, work on it, and publish it for Thursday. I am so happy. It's been almost 2 weeks now. Well, this week I didn't film because I was all over the place. I had the kids with me and my husband was on vacation. So I was trying to have a normal life. But it's still crazy. There's always something to do, and the temperature was super fun. So we went outside, we cleaned up outside. So I was able for 2 weeks to film in advance. So what I filmed Friday, not Friday. what I film Monday of this week is going to be out Tuesday of the upcoming week. So it's fun. So I'm starting to be ahead. I do hope that I can keep up with that. So just a little FYI. So March Molasses Madness is throughout the month of March. Last week we had a cookie recipe, and I have to say both the recipes look like so delicious. One is with sourdough discard, and yet mine is a regular. And then this week is a dough recipe, and we're actually going into battle. So there's a competition, friendly competition going on. And if you want to try out both our recipes, so we make sure to include all our recipes in the description of each video. And as a rule, we gave ourselves that we will not try the recipe prior to filming it. So when we're filming it, it's the first time we're trying to do the recipe. So we can't really mess it up. Well, we could. We have to film it again. But we want it to be a really friendly battle. So if you want to try out 2 dough recipes with a star ingredient, molasses, if someone can put Lynn's video that came out today in the comments, it would be nice. Are you guys being weird when you talk? I am working through this tech stuff. Each click, I never know if I get it right. You mean when you edit? Yay! My onions have popped. They're looking great. I don't know if I'm behind or ahead this year. I am so scared to start seeds because every seedling I start is something I will have to work on. I did definitely start a lot of perennials this year and stratification. So I am hoping to get a lot of flowers established around the house. Like to have a beautiful, what do you call it? Like intimacy fence. There is one that I suggested to, when was this? Me and Angie were talking. I think it was like a month ago. I wanted to build an intimacy fence in my backyard, like completely in the backyard, because I have some people that lean on the fence and just like watch in my backyard. It does one way, like warms my heart, but sometimes, you know, when I'm in my PJs, I don't particularly like someone looking in my backyard. So I found these 2 I think it's mullein, and I'm going to start them from seed this week. And I'm hoping with I have some wild black raspberries. I'm hoping like to create like this fence, because the row that I have right now of my wild black raspberry goes pretty tall. So if I can interplant all of that together, it would create like maybe like a 5-foot tall wall and discourage people from watching me when I'm in my garden in my PJs or when I'm filming. Well, I promised Remy a video for tomorrow. But oh no! I want to plant my asparagus this week. I think it's time to plant asparagus from seeds. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I used to have my chickens run. Okay, so I have a drone that's broken, and I've been bugging my husband for like the longest while to fix the drone so that I can show you an air view. Some of it is going to be our mess. Some of it is going to be like to give you like a perspective of what the backyard looks like. My back garden in ground, there's a U in the back. So the original plan was to have my garden like this and have like a U going around it so that my chickens can go around the fence. So that means every time I have some weeds, or I have tomato that is rotten from the inside, with blossom and rot. A pepper that a slug ate and it's like part of it's still good. Like I can throw it over the fence. That was like the original plan, the reasoning behind the U-shaped garden. Since since then, many things has evolved. Now my coop is like stagnant. I no longer move around my chickens like I used to do. So I kind of have like lost space. Now it has become Luna's running pen. Like it's like an L shape now. We removed part of the U. One of the side of the garden is going to be converted into my rhubarb patch. Okay, I need to drink water. I'm guessing you mean cool. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna sneeze again. So if you can't hear me, it's because my nose is like so stuffed up that I want to sneeze. I had like this big plan of Q&A tonight on how to start seeds and how like I organize myself to start seeds. But my brain is like so congested. I don't think I'll be able to like do like a full Q&A. But if you do have questions and you want to start gardening, I can somewhat answer some of them. Like I had where is it? I had like I've written down like so many information in the book. Of like stuff I wanted to share, how I get started in like where I get what, the last frost date and all of that. So if you have questions, because it is time to sow seeds. But I don't think I'll be able to do it. So if I don't have any questions tonight, I hope I'm going to be better next Sunday, because I think it's tomato season very soon. Other than tomatoes, what would be the first thing you would plant if I would start over? Well, if I know what I know today and have experienced the battles and the good, the bad, and ugly that I have within the last 7 years, I would say having the knowledge also I have now, I would organize the garden differently. So I would establish like an asparagus patch. Instead of like going big on the garden, like I think my first garden was 30 by 30, my in-ground garden. And like I would establish a good asparagus patch because I really enjoy asparagus. And I think I would establish blueberry patch and invest much more time into those. Hello, Jordan. I would invest much more time in perennials and knowing that you're going to fail more than you succeed unless like you're brought up into an agriculture family. I would not start from seeds. I would buy flowers like nasturtium, marigolds, zinnias, sunflowers, anything you can either start 2 weeks before your last frost. I would have bought the seed. Lettuce, also, it's an easy crop to grow. You can like you don't even need grow lights. You can buy or make a shelving outside on your back deck, and then like bring it out. If it's not minus 20 degrees outside, you can bring it outside and then bring it back inside at the end of the day. So lettuce is an easy one. I would have started with that. But the rest, like cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, tomatoes, peppers, time, like all the herbs, I think I would have just bought the plants instead of starting the seeds, because I did invest a lot of money in the seeds thinking it was going to save me a lot of money. But in the end, it only cost me, like, it cost me failure on so many levels. So I hope that answered this question. So perennials, figure out the perennials that we like and establish them. When I mean establish, like to have like blueberries, not just have like this like 4 or 5 blueberries on a plant. I mean like how to establish like a very nice blueberry patch of like maybe 10, 15 plants in like within 5 years to have a lot of blueberries. Same thing with strawberries, in raspberries. Raspberries, I think it's one of the first thing I planted. If I didn't mess up where the location was, I would definitely self-sufficient on raspberries, but I have to relocate a little bit. That's fun. That's fun. I was told that I should film my bunny cages. So, my doe could be pregnant. We had a little accident. I'm not very like I keep sharing the good, the bad, and ugly. I'm kind of ashamed. I have 2 males that I was keeping for manure, and they're the sons of my doe. Both of them are in a big cage. They have enough space. Everything goes well. They don't have an aggressive thing going on. So I remain them in the same cage. Either me or the children left the door open, and the doe spent the afternoon with her sons, and they are 1 year old. So I could have a litter by the end of the month. And then I lost my main male before the holidays, and I went to get a very young, I think he's 3 months old, un géant des flaons, white. And I put him in the cage, and I was distracted with the kids, and I think I misclosed. Like there's 2 little closing hatch on the rabbit cage, and it wasn't closed properly. I don't know if it was me. I don't know if it was the kids. I wasn't paying attention. And then they spent the entire night with mom. So if she didn't get caught the first time, she's probably caught now. So I'm like, I know that that's not good, but I might have a litter sooner than I thought. Awesome. I'm starting my tomatoes a little bit later this year. If I start my tomatoes, I might just buy paste tomato and at the nursery and just grow what I can't find in nurseries this year. Yeah. It's too early for us to sow seeds outside. Unless it's stratified seeds that you can put outside. I think I said hi, but if I didn't, hi. Yeah. So perennials is an investment, but where I was 7 years ago, I was under the impression, because I find that homesteaders only share one side of the story, or maybe like the good, the bad, and never the ugly. Buying all the seeds the first year, I find is a mistake, because you're going to get so disappointed. Unless, like I said, you're from a agriculture background and you're not alone doing all of that. But from my perspective, I was alone. I'm always alone mainly. And I had all that stress on my shoulders. So definitely I wouldn't have bought all the seeds I bought. That's for sure. Yes, flowers. Yeah, definitely it was a good garden. Now that garden is probably 42 by 42, because I made a bigger. I have to measure it. We made it bigger. We added a food forest to it last year. Um, and I'm adding, our apple tree died last year. Um, it was when we bought the house, the apple tree was here. We think it's a Macintosh. I don't think Macintosh is a hybrid. We have babies coming out on the side of the main tree, so we might just let those do its thing. If that does not survive, I have a kid in the. Hold on. Sorry, I saw someone going down the stairs, and I think that was my youngest. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So if that survives, we might let it do its thing. If not, we're gonna remove the roots, and I'm just gonna have like a row of rhubarb. I want to build many, many beds with rhubarb. I'm starting to discover many ways of using rhubarb. I find that the closer I get to 10 years, I kind of sense a shift in my mindset. So when I started, it was the honeymoon phase. I was in denial because no one told me the bad and the ugly. They were like, there was some bad, but not all of it. And I was under the impression of like the romantic and honeymoon version of homesteading, but it came with so much heartache and so much failure that I wish someone would have been beside me and said, hey, stop, listen, like hold your horses a little bit and start smaller. But I didn't have that. It happens all the time. We try hard to prevent accidents. Yeah, but see, my cages are self-built. We were supposed to have locks. No, we still don't have locks. We like have makeshift locks, but we definitely need to work on that. So it is getting hot in the tunnel. So we've reached, I think, 17 degrees Celsius this week. Thank God the tunnel has a back door and a front door for air circulation. So I think it was like maybe 25 in the tunnel for them. But if we have like a week long going on, like 5 degrees Celsius at night and then 20s during the day, like we had the years past in March, like we had like a fake spring in March. I think for like the last, like every year we're here. So it's getting a little bit too warm for them. So we're trying to figure out their permanent location. Hello, Karen. I have all my stratified seeds that are started. I have onions. I have parsley. I have cuttings. So since it was beautiful outside, I was able to take cuttings from my lavender plant. I want to create like a little lavender patch in my hascap row. And I was able to bring in rosemary. I made a top 10 herb video. That's the one that's coming out this week, Tuesday probably. And I explained a little bit about rosemary and why I have so much trouble with it. Last year, I decided I was going to bring clippings inside and make babies of my main rosemary plant because I can't seem to make it overwinter. And same thing with my lemon thyme. And I successfully have 2 plants. So one lemon thyme and one rosemary. And then I made clippings from my rosemary plants that I had inside. So a clipping of a clipping. And then I sewed 4 plug trays of rosemary. What else did I do? I sewed onions, parsley, celery, a bit of herbs, a bit of flowers. Oh, I did hot peppers. All my hot peppers are sewn. And my paprika pepper. I prepared my little mini soil blockers to plant my peppers. I was supposed to do that yesterday. But since like everything here is so stuffed up, like I feel like I can't think. So I'm gonna wait I'm gonna wait a little bit, maybe Monday or Tuesday. Rhubarb is Carmen. Yeah. So the thing is I want the red rhubarb. So I have like the classic one. I have a one that's like more green than red. But then I found 2 varieties that are super red. And those are the ones that I want to establish big patches of. And then for long-term rhubarb plants and lavender plants and a lot of perennials, at one point, the reason behind all of this being established is I want to sell cuttings, if I'm allowed, if I started from seeds, I don't think I have any issues selling cuttings from my own plant. Some of my mint I'm not allowed to propagate. They're protected. This is the first for me. I never know this was something. But it's something I want to propagate. So rhubarb is pretty easy to propagate. You just have to establish it first and then sell the plants. Yeah, definitely. That gets kick in the teeth. So I think that, well, definitely if you have health crisis, that doesn't help. But I had COVID. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but anyways, I had C. Is it last year or the year before? No, it was the year before. So the year before I had C in the prime time of my season. So technically I should have sown eggplants this week, but I didn't. I'm not late, but I usually plant a little earlier because they're very long to germinate. And last year, I neglected everything because I was down for almost 3 weeks. And then it took me so long to get back up on my feet after having C. And then last year, on the weekend of the Eastern Ontario Homesteading Conference, I squashed two of my fingers, these two fingers, in the door. And I was out of commission for almost 5 weeks, 6 weeks. So it kind of I was so happy that I was somewhat rested, and the burnout was coming. If I look back, the burnout was already established around the time of the conference, but messing my two fingers did not help. So if I was to start over, I would definitely, I know it's an investment to buy plants. With your money, you can buy more seeds. But I think your brain health, your mental health, you can invest a little bit in seeds and a little bit in established plants, because it's going to be win-win instead of losing, because I wasn't able to tend to the garden. Yeah. So this year I am trying something new. I don't know if it's going to work. I've seen a lot of people doing this. I can't seem to find wood chips here, delivered here. So I wanted 2 dump trucks of wood chips delivered, and every time they charge me so much. I'm okay, let's scratch that. So this year we're looking for 18 by 18 concrete slabs. The first year we established the garden, I was able to get 60 for free. We're looking to find at least 100, maybe more, to do our pathways. And then whenever we can find wood chips, I'm just going to put wood chips in the middle so that we can control the weeds of the rows. And then for my garden, I am trying to find non-sprayed organic, either hay or what's the other one? La paille, hay, or I forgot the name. Hay or anyways, I'm sure you understand what I mean. So I'm gonna put the compost. Sorry, I'm gonna broad fork my row, remove all of the rocks, all of the weeds, put the compost, broad fork again, prepare the soil, and put some hay or pie. What's pie again? Please help me. Straw. Thank you. So I'm going to put that. And then when I'm ready to plant, I'm just going to remove a little bit the straw, and it's going to help me control the weeds. Yes, I still have the problem of there's seeds in either or both of them. So I could have hay or straw growing in my garden either this year or the year after. But it is going to help me to control some of the weed, and it's going to help me control water retention. I started organizing the list today. Have to do more later tonight. Shopping list for required materials. I think I need to buy more grass seed. Well, there's always tomorrow night. I'm guessing this is like with delay, but we'll see you soon. So mint, this is also another one I talked to you about in my future video. Mint, you can buy one plant, and then if it's small, you can just plant it and let it do its thing. Or I try like to find, when I buy seedlings of mint, to find like the bushy ones. And then I do a couple of clippings on it, and I propagate to have like 3 to 4 mint plants in a 18 by 18 or 24 by 24 raised bed. I do not. I no longer put mint in the soil. My dad brought me 2 spearmint or 1 spearmint plant the first year I started gardening. And now that one plant, 7 years later, is 15 feet long, 10, 15 feet long by 4 or 5 feet wide. And like, I have to pass the weed eater in there like so many times and remove some of the mint because like it's taking over. Like mint comes back with a revenge every year. Hello, CR. Is that Lynn's video? Oh, thank you. So this is Lynn's video for March Molasses Madness, the dough recipe. So this is the challenge. We're in competition for this one. So I think we sowed clover as instead of grass here. I don't sow grass. I have a tendency of sowing either regular clover or there's another one. So at our local co-op, they have like this mixed seed that you can spread on your lawn with a little bit of compost or a little bit of sand and then water it. It's easier to maintain. But right now our backyard is massacred. So I don't know for you guys with all like the snow, the water. So it's for us, we have no more snow. So we had snow and then rain, snow, rain, hot temperatures, and like mix all of that together. So we have no more. We can see the soil, and because of all that water, it's like a mud nightmare. So we have like straw everywhere around the property. Because like I sink. My rubber boots are broken. I only have like my work boots, and my work boots are very old, so now they have holes in them. So I would sink in like a mud hole that had water in it, and like it would overflow on the side of my boots, and all the water would come in. So I'm like, okay, so we need to do something. So we had leftover straw from last year, and now we have like straw all over the place because like we're sinking in. It's like quick mud. It's like quicksand, but mud. Really? I got the warning that last night till now we were supposed to get snowed on. So I'm near the island of Montreal. On the south shore of Montreal, what we had in rain, they had in snow. We're like not even an hour. No, a little bit, like about an hour and 15 minutes of the south shore. So they had a lot of snow and we had rain. It's crazy. I don't know about tonight. What does tonight say for us? So right now it's -1, feels like -8, and it is snowing. I don't know if it's going to snow enough to cover the ground, but tomorrow No, it's 1 centimeter. No, nothing like significant is coming here our way. It's crazy. Okay, I will have to blow my nose. I'll be right back. I'm back. Lovely. I hate being cold. I mean, I hate having a cold if it is a cold or allergy. Oh, Point Claire. I used to live close to Point Claire, like really close. Where's that? I was born and raised in the West Island of Montreal. So Point Claire was close. +5. Nice. So 60 Fahrenheit. That's like what? So 70 is 23. So it's like 15 right now? 10, 15? Okay, so rabbit. Here's the thing. It depends what you want. We have rabbits for the manure because this year I planned on having the manure for my tunnel. So my tunnel requires 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 12 to 15 bags of compost every year. So I think with, even though I didn't do it properly, I think the manure of the rabbits will cover my tunnel and maybe part of my grow bags. Maybe. But the main reason why I have rabbits is for the bunnies. So the babies. The babies are like are kind of financing the operation. Like I'm not trying to make like super crazy money out of them. It's just to provide on a long-term period to have, like, the end goal is for, I would love not to buy compost. So I would love to my chickens to do half and my rabbits to do half. That would be like the end goal, but we're not there yet. I love having rabbits at home. Um, the kids enjoy it. They're very, very easy. The good is the turnaround for meat is pretty good. So depending how big you want them and the breed that you choose, you breed them. So Géant des Flammes is 30 days, 32 days. It's a little over a month. I would have to check my notes. And then the Californian Cross is 28 days, if my memory is correct. So within a month-ish, you have a litter, depending of the lineage in the genetics of the doe. You can have between 6 to 16 babies, depending on the genetics that you choose. So if you have 2-3 litters a year and you have an average of 6 to 10 babies, that is a lot of meat because I separate from the moms around 4 to 6 weeks. So between 4 to 6 weeks, I remove them from the cage of their mother. And then they go into a pen where they are available to come pick up. If you want to breed them for the meat, from there, it's about 8 weeks-ish, depending of the breed. And you have about between 1.5 to 3 pounds of meat, depending what breed you choose and how long you keep them. Géant de Flandre are pretty big. They're big bunnies. So they're going to eat a little bit more than the Californian cross, but the end result will be bigger animal in your freezer. I see I see meat birds. You buy the meat birds, you're in, you're out, you're finished, you're done. So you have 60 to 80 days, depending on the breed and depending of your location and blah, blah, blah. So an average of 60 days, in, out, finished, harvest, freezer. But the rabbits, if you have breeders, it's 12 months a year. So in the winter, the water freezes. In the winter, you need to provide, depending where they are, you need to cover them from the elements. They prefer colder temperatures, but like -40 with the wind chills, I always like protect them. Same thing of my chickens. But they hate the summer, so they hate the heat. So that means the location that you choose to have your rabbits during the summer, especially if they have dark color, I put them in the shade, the shadiest area of of my location. But overall, it's easier to have bunnies than sheeps. But think about it. Oops, I was close. What phase is after honeymoon and burnout? Renaissance. I like Renaissance. Revival phase. New moon and the eclipse. Yes, definitely. So burnout is real. It is real. Every year at the end of each season, I was experimenting like a small burnout. But last year, what I experienced actually scared me. Like, I didn't go to the doctors, so I don't have like an official diagnosis, but like burnout, depression, anxiety, stress, whatever you want to call it. I'm scared to go back to that. Like, I start seeds and I go back and forth like, am I the healthier version of myself and am able to like do what I used to do? And I'm like, okay, so if I downsize, because I did downsize on many things, I don't think I'll be growing. Like, I did write it in my plan to sow seeds of cabbages and cauliflower and all of that. But I don't know if I will. Tomatoes, I'm going back and forth to I purchase seeds for my paste tomato, and I'm going back and forth. Like, do I buy it in a nursery, or I don't? I start them from it's like a battle. I'm scared to go back where I was last year. It was dark. Like, I was getting up in the morning because I had children. I was always angry. Everything was the end of the world for me. To bring the kids to whatever was the end of the world for me. Dishes, end of the world. Everything was black for me. There was no sunshine. I was lucky enough to have a community, my homesteading YouTube community, and also homesteading friends. My husband, my children didn't really understand what I was going through, but I was very lucky to have like a circle of friends to help me out in endure me in those dark times. So definitely new moon and the eclipse or revival phase. I don't know. Those are all good, but it is real. I don't want people thinking that there's no heartaches and I think if C did not happen, I don't think I would have experienced all of that. Like, I'm trying to find the tipping point because it kind of helps. Finding the tipping point of like the first symptoms. And I think I think 2020 was when it started, March 2020. No, I know it started in March. Yeah, it was 2020. So I think I was like already there. Like, I have 3 children. I was a stay-at-home mom. I celebrated stay-at-home mom 7 years. No, I stopped working December 2016. So it's November. Yeah, 7 years. So 7 years of stop working, 6 years without a salary, and the sacrifice, the move. Before we move, our house was infested with mold. We had to evacuate the house. Very stressful with the baby. Um, so like all those little seeds of like stressful moments was established, and then stop working, and then being home, non-social. Like I had a no social life. Everyone was working. I didn't know anyone that was like at home or homesteading or wanted to do what I was doing. So this is something I keep saying to people when they start. Build a community first. Find your people first. If you can garden at someone else's place, or you can harvest some chickens at someone's place, or you can go milk a cow at someone's place, build a community, because it is so important. Like, we're 7 years in, and we still don't have someone to, well, it's called farmstead. We don't have a farm, but we have no one to take care of our homestead if ever we leave on vacation. It's only last year that we met someone that we trust enough to come here and take care of the garden. Like the gardens, it is very time consuming to water the garden. It takes 2 to 3 hours. So I don't think I would leave in July in the peak of the like hot season. Like I would go maybe in June or like September when everything's dying down, and like decide that year not grow like a winter or fall garden, and like just go on vacation. So the person that would come here would take care, like super simple, the animals. We're actually talking about permanent setups this year for the rabbits that will make my life so much easier. I really hope we can make it work. We have most of the parts to do it, actually. We just need to buy the tubing. Same thing for the chickens. And I'm actually negotiating, well, I don't know if it's negotiating, but we're talking back and forth about separating the ducks from the chickens, because they do a mess. In the summer, it's really fun to watch them, but in the winter, they do a lot of mess. So I'm thinking either to separate them like fall till spring, so that like the mess can be contained like in a smaller area instead of like being big area being a mess. We haven't taken a decision on that yet. I have never tried rabbit meat. Interesting. So rabbit is a very lean meat, very lean. So it's like a learning curve. What I wanted to do was there's a couple of dishes that you can do it. Like there's a pie, there's a rabbit pie, there's a stew, but mainly I wanted to do sausages. So 1 part rabbit, 2 part pork, because it's a very lean meat. Thank you. Snow moving, yes. So I did go through like a roller coaster of emotions before C, and then during C, the isolation. Oh my God, the isolation was horrible. I was already isolated. So I would see like the teachers, I would talk on the phone with my mom, my husband, my kids, but like I wasn't allowed to go anywhere because of certain choices I've made. And I respected that. So during Christmas time, I stayed home. Like during holidays, I stayed home. At one point, I didn't go to the grocery store. My outings at the time was the yarn store, Canadian Tire, dollar store, and like food. I wasn't even allowed to go at one point. So I was condemned to stay home. That was probably like I reached that mountain, and then like from that point I just went downhill. Having the kids at home also was very hard. My son Philip was in kindergarten, and he was showing signs now with the experience that I have of ADHD, and they were kind of forcing us to do school at home. And school for me was always something very hard. Like I went to private school, I had some help at a very young age, and they were requiring us to teach our kids. So it was intense. That so we did school March, April, well maybe April, May, June. So at least 3 months, 4 months of school. And then all the diagnosis of Philip and all Cedric, the craziness of Cedric entering school. And then this year in September, the 3 schools. That was like, I think that was like the final blow. And then I crashed so bad. But I'm happy that I realized it on my own, that there was something wrong. I could have been in denial and just kept going. I've noticed my neighbors got ducks recently. All their grass is gone. Yes. So ducks, what they do when they see water or mud, they have like there's like a little hole with like an accumulation of water, and they stick their beak in there, and they just and like they go like that and like make a huge mess. But they're very nice birds. They make a mess, but like I tolerate them during the winter. I'm kind of am happy when spring comes around because the mess is finished. It all depends on what you want. So, portable hutch on the ground. From everything I have read, I would put babies. So the original plan for me was to put the babies in like a movable hutch to fertilize either my yard or my garden. So to answer another part of that question, Remy, so if I were to restart, all of my garden beds would be designed with the size of my movable hutches of like meat birds, meat rabbits, blah, blah, blah. Like everything would have like standards so that I can put my birds at the end of the season to work. So I saw this on Justin Rhodes years back. They made 4 feet, I think by 8 feet raised beds. I'm going with memory right now. And they, at the end of the season, when a bed is finished, they put the hutch or whatever you want to call it on top of their raised bed, and they put birds in there for a week or whatever, how many days to remove everything. And then they fertilize that bed. They scratch everything. They remove and unroot very difficult weeds. And then they have many raised beds. So they move from raised bed to raised bed to raised bed. Now I don't know what they do because I haven't followed them in a very long time. But that was like one of the last videos I've watched. And I find that super, super intelligent because you can flip beds very, very fast with rabbits because the manure is cold. So if I would do that, I would, in the spring, put all of my rabbits in that garden bed, make them clean everything. It is amended, so I would just move around, broad fork everything to make sure that the manure is covered, and then move on to the second bed. On my in-ground garden, my rows measure 18 inches. My pathway is 18 inches, and my rows are 30 inch. So 30 inch doing knee sign. So I could make a portable hutch, maybe 6 feet wide, and they would work on 2 beds. That's what I would do if I was to restart, but I can't do that. I hide all of my animals for reasons I talk on like so many lives. For the shade in the summer and the high tunnel in the winter, we are building high tunnel. Nice. I love the portable. I love the portable idea. We used to have a portable hutch for our chicks when they were big enough, for rabbits, for meat birds also. Um, okay, so I'm a bit behind on comments. What do you mean by that? Definitely. Definitely. So, depending if you're DIYing a tunnel, I think you're the one that said you wanted a carport. So, if you can get your hand on a used small garage door that is 4 feet wide, it would be something very interesting. We wanted to do that on one of our tunnels. Or was it the shed? It was either or. It was 36, no, sorry, it was 40-inch wide, the door, the frame, and it was perfect. So we would have to make it, if it would have worked, because we missed it, we would have to make our movable, come on, Annie, get your words together. The movable hutch, I would have made it 36 inches, so like it would fit in your tunnel. Sewing and sewing. Yeah. So I did find comfort in gardening. So I think it was delaying the inevitable. Like showing YouTube, you guys filming the conference every year in May. The emails, the text messages, and like the friendship I've created online helped through the hard times. But the darkness was there. So like I was getting a bit of sunlight and then more darkness. But definitely gardening is something that is rewarding. And for your mental health, it's really good. So that's why when I answer now, what would you do differently? I say with everything that has happened to me. And I think everyone goes through this. Yes, I'm a content creator, so maybe if I was not a content creator, it maybe would have happened a little later, because creating content is like a job ish. Well, an unpaid job at one point, because it took a while for me to get monetized. But it is like homesteading, the YouTube content creating, the editing, is like somewhat of a job for me. Because like there's planning going on. Darren gave me Darren from Thorhaven Farm is the one that said you should pick up your book and write your ideas. And he was right, because after talking to a couple of people, I was able to find like content that like is so fun to create. Like I even started working on note wise on like a couple of projects. So definitely it is like work. Also, I forgot to say, so I have Indian runner ducks. They are lighter than the conventional, the Barbarie or Pekin. Pekin, like they waddle when they walk. The Indian runner are like, what do you call those? Like they walk like this. They don't waddle. They don't have a bigger butt. They are a dual purpose breed. Their eggs are as big as the heavy breeds. So the males are silent. It's only the female that quacks. So there are some good things about ducks. So when I started with ducks, I had this vision of like having a trio of Indian runner ducks, because since they're lighter breed, they could go in the garden, and when the garden is established, they don't step on the seedlings. They will eat the bugs. Contrary of the chickens will massacre your garden like in less than 10 minutes. Like, leave chickens unattended in your backyard near your garden, door open, you're gonna swear in 10 minutes. They're gonna massacre your garden in like, they don't care. But ducks are used in the wine industry for slugs. They will go hunting for that. So since they are a lighter breed and they don't eat the seedlings, it's a better option. So the reason behind the Indian runner ducks was for that. But mine are no longer roaming free. They're always in their I hate it when my brain does that. Not in their cage, but in their run with the chickens. I did have a trio of Cayuga ducks. They were beautiful. Oh my God. I sold the male. I cried. I sold one female also. They were pure breeds. I paid a fortune for them. And now I have one. She's pure, but she has white spots on her body. No one wants to buy her. So I wanted to relocate her. And because her visually, she is not all black like Cayugas, no one wants to buy her. So I had to keep her. So the reasoning behind the Cayuga ducks was for the gray eggs. They have beautiful gray eggs, dark, and they're very, very calm breed. So when I sold the first female and I sold the male, I also sold a Indian runner duck black, because I wanted to bring down the population of every of the ducks, and just keep like a small amount of does. I don't know if it's a doe. No, females. What's female ducks in English? It's not does. Anyways, so this spring, sadly, I lost my favorite duck. Her name was Daisy. She's beautiful. In the mix of her with my male, une canne. Yeah, but in English. What is it in English? I forgot. It's not a doe. So a friend of mine wants me to find a female that's white and breed her with my blue duck. But he's like 5-6 years old, so I don't know if he's still good. I have a black one also, because it seems to... I have a duck that wants to go broody. Daisy was always broody every year, and that poor thing would make like she would have like 18 eggs under her, and her butt was not even covering 2/3 of it. And every year, like, I tried to remove some of the eggs under her, because like they're about this wide. So like she would like it was so funny to watch. She would hatch like 2 to 4 babies every year, and when I found her in the coop, I was so sad. It's like Daisy. And the male's Donald. He was like priceless when I got them. And I was so sad. I was ready to sell all of my ducks when I found her. It's like something, or I don't know. The ducks either stepped on her, or something came in the coop during, like, before we locked the coop. and stepped on her. It was very, very sad. A male is called a drake, that I remember. And the female is called a duck. Okay. Female duck. I thought it would have been doe. Doesn't matter. I wanted to make like a little collage of all the pictures I had of Daisy, but I can't seem to find them on our backup computer. So soon I'll try to make something, because we did do a ceremony for her because we couldn't bury her. We burned her, and like we made like a big fire, and we had like a little get together with the kids, explaining them what was going on. My daughter now, she's almost 12, she understands. Philip is 10. I think he understands the concept. He was very sad, so Daisy was his favorite also. Cedric is 7 years old, so I think it was the first time like he was taking conscience of like of death. Like he understood at one like a certain degree, but I think he really now starts to understand, because like he saw her one day, she was alive, and then the other day she was wrapped up, and we were having like this little ceremony. So that's one of the things that I find, I can't really say cool about having a homestead, but our children are taught the circle of life. Like birth, complications, taking care of a baby. Like sometimes one of my does dispatched 2 of her babies. My kids were devastated. So one morning, the doe had 4 babies. The first pregnancy of my rabbit. I usually don't have does that take the first time. They usually abandon the nest the first time. This one, she was really trying hard to keep them alive, but 2 of them were not really hot looking. And I came back later that afternoon I think it was with Amelia and Philip, and she had dispatched them and like threw them out of the little nesting box. My kid's like, oh my God, she's so mean. I'm like, no, she's not. Like, she's a young mom, and for her, she decided that it was best this way for many, many reasons. And I was able to chat with her and explain to her that the law of nature can be beautiful, but also be cruel. And I think she understood. But the circle of life is much that goes in. You can go really deep with the circle of life. You are busy. I would be exhausted. Yeah, I am busy. So this is a joke that I say to a lot of people when they say, oh, I want to pass by. I'm like, okay, so let me just make something clear to you. So if you want to pass by my house, you need to give me at least 2 to 3 hours a heads up, so that my house can be like somewhat presentable. And the second rule is my house and my garden, both of them can't be pretty at the same time. So if it's peak of my season, my house is neglected. If it's down period, both look somewhat okay, but you still need to give me 2-3 hours heads up. Like, you can't just show up on my front door, because you're going to see sides of me that you didn't think exist, because we don't show this. Like, this is like the dark side of like motherhood in house. We don't show, because you always see the Instagram perfect houses and the moms that are perfect. And it's not that. It's sad. So it's sad to explain that to the kids, but I think by teaching them very young, they start seeing things differently. So we have chicks here. They have 60 days of life. And at first, Cedric did not want to eat. because he understood that little chick that was like a chicken that is now in his plate. He was like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that, mama. Now he is starting to understand and accepting to eat chicken. But, qu'est-ce qu'il y a, Théo? Oh, my dog wants to go outside. Hold on. My mini dog wanted to go outside. That's the first thing. He never asked to go outside when it's cold. He has little paws and he doesn't like snow. Okay, he wants to come back. Hold on. Oui, oui, il fait froid, hein? Ici. Non, tu veux pas monter? Yeah. So this is Theo. Oh, attention. Okay. Yeah. I'm always busy. No, I take more me time. Much more. I should take a little bit more, but I take more time for myself. That's why I say you need to at least give me 2-3 hours in advance, like before you pass my house. So at least I can have like a face on that is presentable. And, I make you tired because I'm too busy. Well, there's a reason why sometimes I don't go to the recordings of the podcast, because I decide to listen to my body. Like if I don't listen to my body, I would definitely go every Tuesday on the podcast and I would have a blast. And then we would go on so late. And then the next morning at 5:00, I would be like, So the weeks that I'm super, super tired, I tend to say no to certain things because I need to go to bed. Yeah, Pa. He's already gone. Little Teal's gone. Luna was jealous. Luna's giving me a hard time. She was like right next to me now because I gave attention to Teal. She's all the way in the back. It's like, Mummy gave attention to the other dog. I am so sad. Luna's getting big. I have to show you guys how big she got. Looking at the comments to see if I forgot anything. I don't think so. So do you think it would be appropriate for next week? So next week it would be the 17th. 17th, I think, is the day to start tomatoes. I think so. Would it be too late to do like a live Q&A, getting how I get started on gardening, the seeds, the frost date, and all of that? Would it be something worth exploring for next Sunday? Luna? Uh-oh. Police is here. Sorry about that. I have a bit of snow going on right now. I don't know if it's going to stay though. I am also I was going to wait for you guys to answer. I'm also going to go to bed because we've brought up there's a bit of change of time and I'm trying to adjust. Sleeping an extra hour. Tomorrow for us is a pet day. So we're back to reality. I did ask the kids if they wanted to go to, they have like a Hawaiian party at the school. So it's going to be at school, but it's going to be a Hawaiian party. They're going to have fun. And then Tuesday school starts again. It went by so fast. They had so much fun this week. It was crazy. So last night I tucked in the kids super early. I also went to bed earlier. I find that this year it was not so bad. It was not so bad. Last year was horrible. Like every time I change the time and like I'm not paying attention too much, the next like couple of days is like crazy. So I decided yesterday everyone was going to bed early. And this morning everyone woke up around 7-ish, 8-ish. And tonight it was back to normal routine, even though if it was off tomorrow. So everyone's been in bed before 7. And I'm hoping that tomorrow morning it's going to go easy and I don't have to push them out of their beds. So, okay, so I did write, what did I write? I started this about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I have enough. I always catch up when I do my lives, so I could do like a Q&A and chit chat a little bit. Cool. Oh, I didn't see that. My husband was so nice to me. He let me sleep every morning this week, so he was able to sleep earlier every night and a little bit in the morning. So, because he's going back to work tomorrow, he's not happy about that. Like, he wants to stay home. And he blessed me every single morning. I was able to sleep in and like refresh. I am like I did catch something, so I need to be careful because since I recuperated from all those late nights, and now I'm sick and he's back to work and I'm going to be back up at 5:30 every morning. I have to be very careful. Okay, so I'm going to work on that. So the upcoming week, I did forget one message. So I made a little short video this week. The box is not here. I made a little short video on Tuesday about I need your help. So Let Pot sent me a second hydroponic system, bigger this time, and I want your suggestions. So if you have 1 minute of your time, go watch that video and write your suggestions that you would like to see me grow in that hydroponic system. I'm probably going to set it up this week. So it's going to be a very busy week. So I have to edit, publish my top 10 herbs. I have to film and do the bottle of molasses. I can't remember the name of my dough. Anyways, so that is Thursday, and I have to set up my hydroponic system. And so all of my seeds, and make sure that I don't lose my brain in all of that, because like I said earlier, like I go back and forth on a daily basis. Should I sow or should I buy the seedling? So it's gonna be a busy week. But until next Sunday, I will make sure to write all of my little tips and tricks that I do when I start sowing my seeds. Some of the equipment I'm probably gonna like do in the description of the live, like the most popular stuff that I use to start seeds. Well, I hope everyone has a fantastic week. I thank you for popping in, and we will chat soon, and you guys will have more content this week. Take care. Bye. Take care.